Hello, this is Ray Kierna with Copter Concepts. Once again, um, I know I've been slack on my appearances on YouTube. It's been going on and off, but I'm trying to get this done. So, as you last saw my last video, here it is, helicopter, just about ready. So now I have the tail rotor assembly completely done with tail rotor blades and tail rotor belt. Now, the belt that I use, I'm going to show you the material that I use. This is elastic thread. Elastic thread, you can get this in white or black. I prefer black because during flight you don't see the black. If you use white, which I have, you'll see that during flight. So you're better off just using the black because it's almost nearly invisible in flight, okay? And that's what I use for the belt drive between the main rotor pulley and a tail rotor pulley. So there it is, elastic thread. I get this at Joann's Fabrics or Michael's. Joann Fabrics is probably about the best place to get that. So just FYI. So we put that over there. Okay, so we got our tail rotor blades on, pitch is set. Now these tail rotor blades, like I said, are pitch adjustable. I have small dowel rods that go between the tail rotor blades and the aluminum hub that I use. They fit very nicely. I'll turn it around just a little bit so you can see. There we go. We're going to stand that up. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to go over there. Okay, so see that's attached to the back of the blades. They're hardwood dowels, 1/16 or so in diameter, and they fit within the 3/32 diameter aluminum tubing that I do use for the tail rotor hub. So all the aluminum tubing that I do use for this and the dowels, everything is easily accessible and findable. Like you want to get some material and products that you can find that's not going to be hard to get. You know, you don't want to take and find some exotic place that you have to order all this stuff from. So everything that I build these models with is easily accessible. Tail rotor blades are made from cottage cheese and sour cream containers. Whatever you prefer to use, I sand off all the imaging. They're curved in the instructions. If I do decide to do kits on this or give some kind of instruction, I will go further in detail. Here's the main rotor hub blade. Weights have been already balanced, ready to go. There's the feathering pin right there. Now here's the ta-da, rotor blades. There's number 1, and here is number 2. So those are going to attach, and you can see the bamboo, very tough attachment points that is going to attach and turn into the rotor hub, and these fit beautifully. You can adjust the pitch. You can tighten them up with just a drop of glue, whatever you got to do, but these will work beautifully. All you got to do is just kind of finish sanding. I'm going to probably do a really light coat of floor wax because it's pretty solid when it dries. It's easy to paint on. It dries pretty solid. It's going to give you a little bit of flexibility, but it's going to be solid. It's not going to add a lot of weight. So I'm going to show you what kind of floor wax I use to coat my blades, and it is Pledge Floor Care Finish. I use this stuff all the time. It is probably one of the best, lightest weight stuff I use. When I take and I use my styrofoam, like when I made my pilot, here's a whole pile of the pink styrofoam I was telling you about. Okay, when I carve my pilot out of this stuff, when the carving is done, I use this stuff. I'm not promoting Pledge. It's just something I use. I found it. It works great. So I use that for my styrofoam pilot building. After it's done, I seal everything before I paint it. I use it sometimes to coat my main rotor blades so they're sealed. Adds a little bit of extra strength. It doesn't add a lot of weight as long as you don't get carried away. Now, we were talking about the belt tension. Now, if you look, this is about a 10-inch length belt, okay, that I did with the elastic thread, and I use this Deluxe RC Milers Craft Glue. This stuff is great to take and coat your knot. Now there's a knot. If you look, I'm going to show you the knot, okay? Here is the knot. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, there it is. Let's kind of, okay, let's zoom in and come on. Okay, now we're going to back up a little. Right here, this is the knot, okay, right here, that I tied in the elastic thread. Now I use the RC Modeler's Craft Glue because it dries pretty quick, it's rubbery, and it's flexible. So that means when you coat that knot with just a little bit of this, kind of roll it into your belt pulley, it doesn't come undone. It's flexible, so it's going to go around the pulleys with no problem, and it's not going to break down, okay? Now, if you look at the tension, like I told you about tension, okay? This is a 10-inch belt between this main drive pulley and the tail rotor pulley, okay? And now it's hooked up to a tension, okay? You kind of touch it. It feels like kind of a guitar string, but it's not too tight. This can probably go, this is 10 inches. I can probably go between 8 and, okay, let's just put it this way. You can do a belt between 8 to 10 and it'll work. I would say between 8 and 9 would be the absolute best. I'm probably about 9 1/4, 9 1/2 length on the belt. A little bit of stretch to get it from the main pulley here to the tail rotor pulley there. But you got enough tension where it's not slack. It's not droopy, a little tight. I might have to go a little bit more. We'll see how she works. But it's all set up. So I got my belt tension on. I got my tail rotor pulley. I made all that. I've got my main rotor blades. So these just need a little bit of sanding. Now I'm probably going to take and put a sheet of paper. And the reason why I say I'm going to use a little bond paper. And I'm going to cover just the top from where the root of the bamboo skewer is here to where the end of the bamboo skewer is, which is about here. And I'm going to use one piece of bond paper, and then I'm going to seal it with some very thin AC glue. And the reason why I do that is I'm going to show you. Here it is on the bell Huey. That's going to add strength to the root. So if something happens, you're not going to tear up the root. The balsa is not going to split. Now, using bond paper like I use here is extremely lightweight. You seal it with a little bit of CA glue on top of it. Sand it smooth. You can paint it, do whatever you want. It's not going to hurt anything. And if you seal your rotor blades with the Pledge 4-Care finish, which is a light wax, they'll be sealed, airfoil dynamic, fairly strong. But again, you don't want to take and fly this model into a wall. Okay, I've done it. I've broken them. So if you want to do yourself a favor, you're building your rotor blades. This looks great. There's the bottom assembly showing the skewers lined up beautifully. And here's the top view of it. All we got to do is put a little bit of bond paper on top once I get this sanded smooth. And then I'll seal it with a little bit of that Pledge 4-Care wax. Let it absorb into the balsa wood. Let it seal the pores. And then I sand that smooth after that's on. And that's going to give us a very smooth aerodynamic foil. If you look at these rotor blades, I did do a very slight curvature on each blade. So there's blade number 1. And here's blade number 2. They have just about the right curve, each one. And they should balance pretty good. But once they're sealed, they're going to be aerodynamically smooth. Rotor blades, you know, I've tested flat ones, curved ones, paper sealed, micro thin blades, etc., etc. These blades are 1/16 inch balsa wood thick, sanded smooth, put on a 3-inch diameter form to get that curve. And you don't want a heavy curve, you want a very smooth very light curve, nothing major. You see the curve I have here right now? You kind of want that curve to be right there because that's going to be beautiful. And now if you look at the rotor blade, I'm going to lay it out. And you're going to see from the root forward, it is beautifully straight. Okay, and I have no bumps, no curves, no nothing. That's blade number 1. We're going to go to blade number 2. Again, you see, you want to get the curve on a 3-inch form exactly the same, just like that. This is blade number 2. So they're very nice, very smooth. You look at the thickness, it's a uniform thickness across, nice sanding. So when I'm done with these blades, they're going to be sealed. They're going to be sanded. I'll probably put a stripe or two of red just on the edge, just to give it a little decoration. And it's going to go on the main rotor hub. They will be balanced, and then we'll check the final weight balance as well. But otherwise that, you've got the main structure, main pulleys, you've got the belt that runs to the tail wheel. I use that RC Marlar's glue because it is a flexible, strong glue that knot will not belt. Now, mind you, let me talk something about the elastic thread. 50 years of experience with this material. You know what? It's great, okay? It's super, don't get me wrong, super great material. But after several flights, that belt may start to stretch a little thin and get a little looser. So you're going to need to make new belts between the pulleys every now and then. Maybe after 20 flights, 30 flights. I'm just letting the builders and the modelers out in the world know that yes, the belt is not perfect, okay? It's elasticity. Excuse me. I'm kind of not focused right now because of the medication I'm on. So we're trying to figure this out, okay? The belt elasticity, I sound like Trump. The belt stretchiness, okay, it wears down after a while and it gets looser. So every now and then you might have to check tension. And as you build these models and you gain experience, you're going to know exactly what you need. Right now, I am perfect on my belt tension. See, it moves just enough. Could be a little tighter, but this is a 10-inch belt, okay, between the span that I have here. Okay, it's about 12 to 14 inches on a span. So I go about 10 inches, 9 inches. I would say probably between 8.5 and 9 is best. I'm about 10. It feels good. It feels pretty good. And when you do your flights, you're going to know if the model's not going to hold a stable, straight course, you know you're not getting enough drive between the belts, make your belt a little tighter. But otherwise that, this is kind of giving you all I know. I mean, I've done this for, like I said, over 50 years. This is knowledge learned, trial and error over the years to where I think I got this pretty much perfected. I mean, this is just for such a simple model. And you get the rotor blades on here, and you get this baby balance, you know, with the fly bar and the rotor blades, and you get everything right. Not only is she going to be a pretty model, she's going to be fantastic in flight. And this is what I want for my builders. Now, again, okay, the frame. If you look at the frame, here's the front of the frame. It goes up, goes back. Now, the tail boom is, of course, tongue and groove. So this is kind of loose. I don't know if any of you modelers out there have seen a penny helicopter by Peck Polymers. I don't know. I've never built one. I've seen models of it fly. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. This is, the framework is very loosely based on the penny helicopter. The difference between mine is that not only is the boom assembly from the gear drive all the way back here, that's all tongue and groove. The penny helicopter did not have a tongue and groove assembly. Tail boom, it was all built as one unit. I did this because it made it much simpler to build a gear drive. And this gear drive is before that tail boom is even installed. The gear drive is an assembly in the framework within the tail boom assembly. And it makes it so simple, easy to install, very sturdy. So what I'm saying is this is kind of like the penny helicopter that Peck Polymers did, but they didn't have the unique wired gear landing or skis that I have on my models, for one thing. So that's totally new. The tongue and groove for the boom assembly, totally new. Tail rotor drive assembly, totally new. Tail rotor blades, totally new. Gear drive system, totally new. The styrofoam insert for the cockpit, totally new. So this is, what can I say, but a super souped up penny helicopter. This part of the frame here, that goes here, and up to the tail boom. That's it. So stick 1, stick 2, your gusset right there. That's it. That's the only thing. That was the original penny, was this one stick here, and so horizontal stick, vertical stick. That's it. Tail boom, gearing assembly, wire landing gear, skis, the styrofoam insert, the gear drive, the rotor assembly, the rotor blades, everything that you see here is brand spanking new. So what I basically did was a redesign of the penny helicopter that has been totally souped up, and hopefully what I'm saying is it's going to be a souped up super flyer, as test flights will show. We'll see, but right now if you look at this model compared to the penny, my personal opinion, my model's awesome. So if you agree with what I say and you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. You can comment me, you can give me a thumbs up. You have any questions that you would like answered on the structure, the building, the weight, stress factors, anything that you would like to know, I would be more than happy to answer, because you know what? I need someone that's going to take over after I'm gone. And I'm the only one doing this right now as far as I can see. So anybody that would like to help me out or just go for this, please let me know. So this is Ray Kierna, Copter Concepts, signing off for now. I've been working all day and I got this far, and I've actually got the tail rotor blades, belt, pulley assembly all set up, and the rotor blades already made, needing for final assembly. So I am so close to flight. So we're going to get there, and we're going to do this, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me some thumbs up, and thank you for watching again. This is Ray Kierna with Copter Concepts, signing off. Thank you.